Hello, stars, and welcome to the Tuesday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is Tuesday, the day after Monday, the day we had off because it was a holiday. And today is another day and another opportunity for you to realize your star power wherever you are. Hope you had a really great day yesterday. I tried to utilize some of it before I had to get back to work, and had a wonderful day at work too. Nothing to complain about. You know, when you do what you love, it's like you're not working. So I'm happy I can say that I'm doing something that I actually love. Any way I can be a part of the community that I'm a part of, and any way that I can make a difference in a day means that I'm doing something that I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like that about the podcast too. Some people might not like some of the things I say, especially when I go hardcore on the second part of the podcast on No Media Allowed. And I'm not going to apologize for those opinions and those feelings and those thoughts. I'm not going to apologize for how I shun the church for their bad behavior and have opinions about things. Because I feel like sometimes people have to be called out. And I don't think that they should be able to hide. Because if regular people do bad things and get caught, they typically get some sort of response in a bad way. Whether it's jail time or whether they're paying a fine or whether it's even more serious than that, there's a penalty. So, saying that, I want to jump into the next part of our conversation. And I want to specifically talk about something else. So, let's get into the next part of our conversation. No media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So, the connection of what I just said falls into what I'm talking about. I don't want to keep talking about January 6th. I'm not saying that what happened on that day was correct, but those people that did that are getting in trouble. But since we're talking about January 6th, what do you think the protesters are doing about Roe v. versus Wade or anything else that people are protesting? And who do you think they're getting to protest? Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be voicing our opinions or being upset about things that we don't disagree with. But I can't be on board with Roe v. versus Wade. I can't. Because someone said something that changed my mind 100%. And I'm going to tell you what they said. And it's probably going to change your mind. If you're fighting for freedom, if you're talking about equality, if you're talking about your rights, then that's not what Roe v. versus Wade is. Because Roe v. versus Wade is just saying that people can have abortions. It's not giving people the ability to talk about it and make a decision. It's just saying they can do that. It's not saying they can do anything else. It's saying they have the right to have an abortion. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics about 6 months, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it is. Every situation is different, and every situation should require different thoughts or a different mindset dealing with it, of course. But, and I'm going to tell you who said this, if you want to listen to it too. Now, I don't really love Tucker Carlson, but I'll listen to him from time to time just to hear his opinion, because I don't like news, right? I'm not a news person. I don't like Fox. I don't like Clinton News Network. I don't like MSNBC. I don't like any of them. I'm not a news person. In fact, I run away from that because it's all propaganda and they're being run by the elite, and the elite that are running them are Democrats. Because if Trump was an elite, he'd be president. Granted, he is a billionaire and he's enjoying his life, which he should be. But if Trump was so bad like they claimed he was, wouldn't he have won? If democracy and freedom didn't exist, Wouldn't he be president? But that's not the country we live in the United States. So the Democratic Party has just made a sham of our rights in front of us. Roe v. versus Wade, which Tucker Carlson said, and I'm quoting him from Fox News, Roe v. versus Wade takes away your rights and your ability to say anything. That's what the legislation is on that. If you look into the documentation and the legislation on Roe v. versus Wade, with these morons that are out here protesting about it because they want to have the right to have all the, sex they want to have with no protection, and they don't want to be held responsible for their decisions. It's not freedom. And he's absolutely right. And if you want to come to that conclusion that I came to, where you don't want to be a part of the insanity and you don't want to be a part of whatever's happening, then you don't have to be. And I invite you to come to the side of logic and reason. Because how are we fighting for something that doesn't fit into the narrative of freedom of speech, just being free? If we live in a free country, then how are we backing legislation that doesn't make us free? And how can you be against life and you're alive? Now, I'm not going to go into a Roe v. versus Wade conversation for 20 minutes. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to leave you thinking, what if what they're saying doesn't add up? It doesn't. We've already talked about the fact that they keep growing in on January 6th. They won't shut up. Now they're using Roe v. versus Wade. They're never going to get over that. And then they did the whole don't say gay bill. And I got to tell you, I think that backfired on Disney, because I can't tell you how many people I've heard that just say, I don't want to watch Disney. That's saying a lot. I don't think they understood what they were doing when they were doing it. But they're going to definitely pay for that. Another thing, inflation, which won't go down. And another thing, gas and food and everything. Every day, everything's just skyrocketing. Where I live, gas is basically $4, and it's just going to $5, and it's just going to continue to go up. See, I said $4. No, it's almost $5. Gas is $4.80, $4.90 at some gas stations. Granted, I live on the East Coast, so things are kind of higher than other places. But we're not talking about some town that's got 5 people that live in it and the gas. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a populated area full of people, right? With high density of people that are all, for the most part, in the same tier of living. How are you trying to justify that we're paying $5 for gas, but you're giving money to Ukraine? That's what I wanted to get into. Biden admitted on a conversation that he's given lots of money to them. And at what point is he going to stop? Because Ukraine isn't the United States' responsibility. Ukrainians aren't the United States' responsibility. The United States has its own citizens that are American. They're not American. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's the truth. Because if you go to another country is just not going to be like, oh, now you're blah, blah, blah. That's not how that works. You have to become a citizen of the country for you to get that status. And these people don't have that citizenship to be that person. Things have to change. Or this country is going into the pooper. And I don't want to be a part of the dumpster fire of the Democratic Party, okay? I don't want my tax money from the job that I love, that I work at, to be a part of this damn dumpster fire, right? I don't want anything that my family partakes in or anything that's happening to be a part of this insanity, okay? They're trying to demonize people because they want to talk about God. They don't believe in God, okay? They don't believe in Jesus, okay? And I'm not saying you have to, but don't demonize people because they do want to believe in him. And then the Republican Party using the church is kind of smart, but it's kind of stupid too. Because why? I've heard Anna Kasparian talk about the fact that she doesn't believe in God. I've heard Jink or Sink or whatever his damn name is on the Young Turks, the leader of that group, admit he doesn't believe in God. He's an atheist. Just because you guys want to be atheists don't mean you have to badmouth people that want to believe in God or want to be a part of a church. And I'm not saying that I want to be a part of a church, but I'm telling you I believe in God. Just because you're an atheist doesn't mean I have to be one too. Just like I'm thinking just because I believe in God doesn't mean you have to. They'll use religion, they'll use class, they'll use money, they'll use the color of your skin. They're going to burn America down. And they're inviting all these people that are not American. The immigration shit and the policies for immigration in the United States are horrid. They let all these Afghans in from Afghanistan because they told them they were going to help them. How does that help us? 20 years, nothing was accomplished. 20 years. Just why? At the end of the day, in America, or wherever you are, if you're in America, we have rights here. So a part of that right should and needs to be how do I feel about this? Because I'm not okay with Afghanistan people coming in through the night on planes, coming to the state I live in. I'm not okay with them allowing Ukrainians over here because something's happening in Ukraine that doesn't have anything to do with the United States citizens. I'm not okay with the Biden administration just telling us to suck it up while inflation creeps up to like 15%. I'm not okay with any of that shit. I'm not okay with the housing market looking for a house being a prospective buyer right now. I'm not okay with any of that. I'm not okay with trying to figure out why it costs like almost $80 to fill up my gas tank. Mind you, I have a Nissan Rogue and it's not new. So there's that. Like, I'm not okay with any of this. And I want other people to not be okay with me. Just saying. Moving on to the next part of our conversation. Faith is never ending. When you have faith and you believe, you can do anything. Faith is knowing that anything is possible. It's knowing that you are going to succeed, you are going to do better, you are going to be okay. That's what faith is. Faith is not stopping, not giving up, and not surrendering to pain, to horror, to anything. And why should it be? Why should we be so faithless? Why can't we believe in the possibility of faith, of happiness, of any of these things? Why can't that exist? Why does it always have to be negativity and bad? I caught myself getting caught up in listening to the most insane things, thinking that I just had to be miserable too. And I don't have to be miserable. So I'm not listening to the news, man. No. I'm not listening to the Young Turks. No. I'm not listening to all these psychotic liberal leftist people. And I'm not listening to some of these right people either. I just want to live my life and live it. I got to tell you that faith is a way of getting you through things that feel like you're not going to get there. I've had some really down, ugly times in my life, and I could tell you that the only thing that got me through them was that word. It's just knowing things are going to get better. It's just believing things are going to change and things are going to get better. That's what faith is, and you can't give up and you can't let go of that. As bad as things might get, as sad as you might feel, your best friend doesn't want to be your best friend anymore. Your mom died. Your dad died. You don't have a relationship, but your parents are alive. Or you don't have a close relationship with your siblings. Or you're not making the amount of money you want to make. Or the first house you're buying is not the dream house you want. Or maybe God's having it so you can't have children and there's something wrong with you. Like you have polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, or you have cancer, or something bad is happening. The only thing that's going to get you through any of that is believing that things will get better. That's it. So, in the darkness of the darkness of the dark, where there's nothing and there's no noise and you feel like you're all alone and you feel like no one can hear you, you're not alone. I'm there with you, and we will get to the light together, because I'm the light in your darkness and you're the light in mine. And knowing that means you're never alone, and you always have faith. I dare you. Chase your dreams. Chase your happiness. And surround yourself in beautiful, beautiful thoughts and beautiful feelings. And this is only the beginning. Moving into the next part of our conversation. Believe in you. The world wants to tell you not to believe in you, but I'm telling you to believe in you. I'm telling you, forget what everybody else is saying. Somebody's telling you, no, you can't do that. If you really want to do something, do it. Like, sometimes things are going to work and sometimes they're not going to work out. Sometimes you're going to figure that out fairly fast, and sometimes you're going to make really stupid decisions. Remember, I told you I got the master's degree and I spent all that time thinking I wanted to be a teacher, just to realize that teaching isn't teaching. It's all about numbers, and it's all about it's a test game. That's what teaching is. It's not teaching kids. And I know educators will tell you it is, and they'll lie and they'll do all these things, but that's not what it is. So we have to be aware of things, and we have to hold ourselves accountable, be responsible, and be adults. Or kids. If you're a kid, be a fucking kid and have fun and enjoy your life. If you're an adult, you gotta do things a certain way, bro. I'm sorry, at some point you gotta be held responsible. You can't just be a little kid all the time. Like, you live with your mom, and your mom is going to constantly make your dinner. Like, at some point you got to figure out how to cook, whether your mom is teaching you how to cook or you're learning from Chef Gordon Ramsay on TV. At some point you got to grow up. So believe in yourself. Believe you can do anything. Stop saying what you can't do. Stop listening to all the rhetoric. Don't get caught up in social media. Disconnect yourself from Meta. Disconnect yourself from the pictures and all the fake stuff you're seeing everywhere you're looking. Be brave. Also, be curious and chase your dreams. Don't get caught in the darkness. See the light. The housing market is a master fire of flames. Dude, I know people want to say all the numbers are going down. I gotta be the one to tell you that the rates are going up, but the prices aren't really going down like that, and the inventory is not that great. As someone that is looking in the market, it's a dumpster fire of a nightmare, and I told you that yesterday, and I don't know if this gets better every day. I like to think that it does, but it's not doing that, and I'd like to think that things are changing, but I don't really know if they're going to change. I want them to, but I don't know. I guess we can blame one person, Joe Biden in America, for just being a total imbecile. His broken promises and his stupidity giving all this money to Ukraine, having everything go horribly wrong here. And I don't want people to say it's not his fault, because it is. He's the president of the United States of America. He's not the president of Ukraine, okay? United States of America. Like, this Democratic Party has failed. And we're living the repercussions of the failure. It's not okay for the middleman. It's not okay for the person that's trying to buy their first home. It's not okay for people that are trying to live their lives. And it's sad. It's fucking sad. Like, you have college students that want somebody to protest for them not to have to pay student loans. And then you got more attention being spent on Ukraine than the problems here. And I hate to keep talking about all this political stuff when it comes to what I'm saying, but unfortunately it's all included. Politics have a lot to do with Wall Street, which has a lot to do with the housing market, which is a dumpster fire of a nightmare. I'm just gonna say it. And as someone that has to look every day to find what the fuck we're looking for all the time, I'm definitely telling you, it sucks. There's that. It's just a dumpster fire. The red street, aka Wall Street's not really doing that great either. What, they're down 400 points, then they come up 100 points, then they're green for a day or two, then they're back down 700 points, then they're green. The Wall Street doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and the market isn't 100% right now. It isn't. And me and Skip like to listen to all these shows on CNBC, right? And we like to have these opinions and justify our own thoughts and everything. But I'm sorry, this is not going to end well. And if you've got your money in certain things, be careful what you have it in. If you got your money in tech and you have your money in things that aren't like actual products, be careful. Honestly, right now, I would be putting my money into gold, silver, or companies that actually create products and build things that are profitable. You don't want to have your money in anything that's negative. And I know maybe I shouldn't be the one that's saying sell, 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 but be very careful, because the market is a bet. You're trying to bet more money to do better things, but I don't think the market is being realistic. Moving into the next part of our conversation. These movies on Disney are horrible. Like Chip and Dale or some whack cartoon shit. Who the hell wants to watch that? Pass. Still boycotting them. And I don't care. Who's going to watch Obi-Wan? They just came out with that too. And as much as I think I might want to watch that, I just feel like there needs to be more. Hoping the current winner of Jeopardy lasts longer. His name is Ryan, and let's just hope. Or some moron's going to take over. But I feel like some of the people that end up winning are not that bright. They last like a day, and then they lose again, and then they win again. Like, and every time I watch it, I'm always thinking, oh my God, you're going to lose. But I really find Jeopardy so fun to watch. We also love watching Wheel of Fortune too, but Jeopardy's definitely a fave. Some of these HGTV shows with these weird ass characters like Windy City Rehab, I don't know about that chick. She's very strange. And like, something happened to her. I'm not sure what the story of that is, but she keeps saying that like she wants to redo things over. And I'm all with the program of things happen for a reason, and I totally agree with that. And I'm all on board with change and understanding your worth and all that too. I'm totally on board with that. But I'm still questioning like what she's actually doing in these houses, because that's what that show's about. I don't really want to hear about all your business. And that's what I'm hearing about. I want to see you redecorate the show. And why do they have one thing come on for 1 minute, then they turn it off, and then you're missing out on like what happened in the show? Like the one about the contractor, like that was not even on for a long time and it went off, and I want more of it. Like, how does that work with these shows? I guess we're learning. Moving on to the next part of our conversation. Where's Ted Lasso? I think it's coming on next year. if I'm correct, or sometime in 2023, but I don't have the exact date. Lately, I've been thinking Apple's been doing a great job. They found something that works for them, and they're sticking with it. So, for all you other contenders out there, Amazon and Disney, I'm going to call you out. Do better. Because Apple came out and they didn't have a lot of content, they didn't have a lot of shows, and they didn't have a lot of things. And they are dominating the space. They're even making Netflix look questionable, which is kind of sad. So everybody get your shit together, because you're losing to Apple, man. And Apple doesn't just make things for watching. They make like devices and hardware. And they're killing you at your own game, which is sad. Wow, sad. Moving on to the next part of our conversation, summer pizzas. What do I mean by that? Like, you can put shrimp and clams on it, or like seafood, or you can make like a white pizza and put something summery on it. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about summer pizzas. Seafood paradise. What is seafood paradise? Seafood paradise is when you're getting the delicacy of actually good seafood, like clams, shrimp. Like, there's this seafood place in West Hartford that's pretty okay. Me and my mom go to one in New Haven that's got amazing seafood. We kind of go there a couple of times during the summer together, primarily celebrate my birthday or something else like that. Certain places have really good seafood, and other places have questionable seafood. I guess Red Lobster is okay, but that's like, I feel like that's fast food seafood. I mean, the prices aren't like cheap, but like, you know what I mean. Grilling potatoes. Can you grill potatoes? You can grill potatoes. And I'm saying like slicing the potatoes, like sort of having like a chip feel to it. That's what I mean by grilling potato. Or you could cut the potato in half and grill it, and then make it like, I don't know, you could fill the potato with like cream cheese or cheese, and maybe put that on the grill, and you could try that out, like loaded potatoes. You could do a lot with grilling vegetables, but grilling potatoes really gives it a distinct taste that I think is absolutely delicious. Replacing meals with smoothies. I think if you can replace some meals with a smoothie, you can definitely give yourself an opportunity to eat less, drink more, see a little bit of weight loss, and really get a better momentum. And I think that's important. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know people are always telling you about how you should eat, what denomination of food you're supposed to have, and what you're supposed to cut out. But you have to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. It can't just be, I'm going to skip breakfast and I'm only going to have lunch and dinner, or I'm going to skip lunch and I'm only going to have dinner because I didn't have time. You got to try to eat something, or you're going to get sick and you're going to like pass out, and that's not healthy, and you don't want to do that. So always have things planned out. That's why I plan out like meal preps, and that's why I try to do things a specific way for myself. Toast it up. What do I mean by that? Eating toast or adding toast to your meal might be just what you needed, especially if you're a little hungrier. Having a little piece of toast or something can be just what you need. If it's in the morning, maybe just put jelly on it, because you know we're boycotting peanut butter right now. So stay away from the peanut butter. Maybe put some jelly on it. Maybe put some cream cheese. It doesn't just have to be on bagels. Toast does wonders, trust me. Anyways, that is the end of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in to this Tuesday pod of Born to Be a Star. And I will see you tomorrow on Hump Day. Bye.